In 2008, a politician named C.P. Joshi was widely expected to become the Chief Minister of Rajasthan, but on election day, his wife, his mother, and his driver stayed home, and Joshi lost his election. He fell short by exactly 1 vote. In this system, crossing the threshold by a single ballot means you win everything. Missing it by 1 means you are out. This is first past the post. What happened to Joshi is the system's foundational rule, working exactly as designed. The rule sounds democratic enough. Whoever gets the most votes wins. But getting the most votes is very different from securing a majority of the electorate, especially when the field is crowded. Look at a hypothetical race with 5 candidates. A winner can take the seat with just 28% of the vote. That means 72% of the voters actively chose someone else, yet they are now represented by the person they voted against. Take that math and apply it to a national scale. A party can turn 37% of the popular vote into a commanding absolute majority of government seats. At the exact same time, a smaller party might win 4% of the national vote. That equates to 20 million citizens. Yet, because of how those votes are spread out, that party gets 0 seats. 20 million people speak, and the electoral scoreboard records nothing. The algorithm effectively deletes them. The system contains a blind spot that renders millions invisible. It doesn't measure how many people support a cause. It only registers if they are standing in the same place. Say 10 million people across the country are desperately concerned about severe air pollution. Because those voters are scattered, a few thousand per district, they aren't the decisive factor anywhere. The same logic applies to millions of farmers suffering from crushing debt. Their distress is intensely real, but geographic diffusion makes them mathematically irrelevant. Now compare those issues to demographic traits like caste or religion. These groups naturally form tight, dense geographic clusters within specific district boundaries. Ignoring broad national issues is the logical path for a candidate. The machine rewards those who bypass the scattered many to court the concentrated few. If you are a political strategist, your job is to exploit the scoreboard. You know you don't need to build a broad consensus. You only need to lock down the largest single subgroup on the board. The formula is simple. Identify your most cohesive demographic block and actively ensure the rest of the electorate remains fractured. You map every polling booth by demographic data. You select your candidates based on community surnames to guarantee block loyalty. And you quietly funnel money to spoiler candidates to siphon votes away from your rivals. If your lead is ever threatened, you polarize. Fear forces independent, wavering voters to rapidly retreat to the safety of their default demographic block. Political parties have a name for this: social engineering. They are systematically fracturing society into isolated vote blocks to hack the mathematical rules of the election. But the politicians aren't the only ones running the numbers. The everyday voter has learned exactly how this machine works. If the algorithm only registers clustered groups, then treating an election as a test of individual judgment is a mathematical error. Voting strictly along caste lines becomes a rational survival tactic. The system treats nuanced opinion as an unaffordable luxury. To achieve any measurable power, you have to submit to the monolithic block. First past the post does more than mirror our pre-existing divisions. It actively incentivizes them, paying a recurring political dividend on social fracture with every election cycle. Everyone is behaving rationally. The polarizing politician and the caste voting citizen are both playing flawlessly according to the scoreboard we designed. Yet, if everyone from the top down can see that this mathematical machine is rigged, that it deletes millions of voices and divides the rest, why has no one ever attempted to fix it? Because the answer is far darker than simple incompetence.